Today I will be explaining how and when to water your houseplants. So over here we have all of my plants that I keep indoors all year round. I don't have a set schedule when I water them because they normally tell me when they are ready to water. So the best way to tell when they need water is when they have a change in their leaf type. But basically what you want to look for is the change in leaves. So this type of plant, their leaves are normally flat, kind of like the aloe, but you can tell that they have crumpled up. So that shows me that they are ready for water.
This is an example of what your plant might look like. Their leaves will be wilted and turned up, signifying their need for water.
Another way to look at the leaves to decide if they're ready for water is to look if they get droopy. So this one, the bottom leaves have gotten pretty droopy. So this is an indicator that they are ready for water. Normally, you will need to only water your houseplants about every 5 to 8 weeks. Houseplants and succulents don't need a ton of water every single day because if you do that, they will drown. It is best to wait to water your succulents until it shows you that it's ready for water because you do not want to give it too much and let it drown. So now I'm going to show you the best ways to water your plants. The first way that you can water your plants is with a spray bottle. This one I got from Amazon. It is a continuous spray bottle. So when you spray it, it will continue to spray its water. This can be used for multiple different uses, but I find it very helpful for the plants. So what I use this the most with are my pots that do not have drain holes. So for instance, this is the aloe plant that is planted in a mug. And the mug has no holes, so the water cannot go into it or be released from it. So that is why the best way to water any pot that has no holes in it is with a spray bottle. But before we water, we need to make sure we trim off all of the dead stuff. For instance, this aloe plant has a dead leaf right here, and there's a small one that is right here, and then right here is also starting to die. So I'm going to cut some of this off so then there's room for more growth.
For a side note, you also can do this after you water. It does not always have to be before.
So after you have trimmed off all of the dead ends on your plant, then you can throw these away. You can use the spray bottle method on all of your plants, no matter the pot, but you are going to see that you will have to water them more frequently because the other method that we are using is where we will set the pot into our sink filled with water, and then the plant will take as much water it needs and absorb it into its roots. This method, we just have to spray it enough that it is pretty moist. So this plant will not get as much water as it needs, but it will get enough to be able to survive, but you will have to water it more often. So to use the spray bottle, you're going to want to get pretty close to the dirt and start spraying everywhere. Okay, so that was the first time, and I'm going to let it sit there for a tiny bit and let it kind of drain into the dirt, and then I'm going to do this again. And I'll probably repeat this process 3 or 4 times. So I let it sit, and now I'm going to do it again. So that should be good, and now you're going to let it sit, and I wait until I'm finished with all the other plants, and then I will water it one more time just to make sure it has enough. So the rest of my plants I'm going to be setting into a sink that will be filled about 2 to 3 inches full of water. And what will happen is the pots under at the bottom have these holes called drain holes. And the plant uses these holes to absorb water up into their roots, so then they can get the water that they need. And this process will probably take around 1 to 2 hours. You want to keep them in the water for quite some time to make sure that they have enough time to get all of the water that they need. So first, what you're going to want to do is go through all your pots and make sure all of the drain plugs are out. I have a couple pots that have this plug, and it just goes onto the hole. So once you're done watering them, you can put this in here so no more water comes out and makes a mess. So I always have to make sure that this comes out. Once you make sure that all of your pots have all of the drain plugs out of them and are ready, then you can start on getting your water filled.
Here I already have my sink filled with water, so now I am filling a 9 by 13 pan with a couple inches of water to also have. If you do not have a plug that can hold your water into your sink, you can use this way also. It's very helpful if you have multiple plants and only have one sink that plugs, which is what we have. So I always have to fill up at least one more pan in order to get water to all of the plants. Next, I am setting all of the plants into the water, and you're going to want to make sure that you watch and make sure they do not fall into the water. At first, they're going to want to move around and kind of float because they are so dry, but once you move them around and they get a little water, they should be fine. So now just fill up your pan or your sink with all of your plants and then wait for all of the water to absorb through their roots.
It's been about an hour and a half now, and the plants are all finished getting all of the water they need. So now I'm going to lay some towels out and put them onto the towels for the next thing. So finally, the last step that you're going to want to do is let them sit on the towel just for around 5 minutes to let any excess water drain into the towel so it does not go onto the place that you are putting them onto. And then also we are going to go through and help stabilize some of the taller plants and cut any of the dead plants off that need it.
So here I'm stabilizing my taller plants onto a rod, and you can either buy these rods online or you can also honestly use any stick that you have outside. And basically what you're going to want to do is put that stick kind of parallel to your plant to keep it upright. And what I also have is some mini clips that I also do, and I just lightly clip the base of the plant onto the rod just to help it stay upright and so they can grow bigger, taller, and healthier. And now I'm going through every individual plant and cutting off any dead leaves that may be on the plant, And this just helps the plant to give more energy into the healthy leaves on it, so it doesn't have to keep on giving energy to all of the dead things. So that is the process that I use to water all of my succulents and houseplants. And I hope that you find this video helpful, and give this video a big thumbs up and subscribe down below so you can keep on coming with me through this journey. Thanks for watching. Jesus loves you, and bye.